Newcastle United fans, brace yourself for some exciting news. From the sensational news that Newcastle is preparing a staggering £16 million bid to beat Real Madrid to the signing of a Brazilian wonder kid, who has been dubbed the new Neymar, to Newcastle United triggering a clause to sign a £15 million ace who is taking the Bundesliga by storm, to Newcastle United's top chiefs having had made their financial fair play plans crystal clear after learning from the problems faced by Everton, Manchester City, and Chelsea. And in a stroke of luck, Newcastle has been handed multiple injury boosts ahead of their upcoming clash with Chelsea. The stage is set for an epic showdown. Don't miss a single moment of this exhilarating news. Smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.
Let's go!
Starting off, according to reports, Newcastle United is poised to beat top clubs like Real Madrid and Chelsea in the race to sign Brazilian wonder kid Marcos Leonardo, who has been dubbed the next Neymar. The 20-year-old forward is expected to leave Santos in January for a cut-price fee of £17.5 million plus add-ons. Fabrizio Romano, in his Caught Offside column, confirmed the news and mentioned that Newcastle is preparing a £16 million bid for Leonardo's signature in the upcoming January transfer window. The Sunday Mirror also reported that Real Madrid has shown interest in the young Brazilian. Other clubs, including Chelsea, Fulham, and Roma, are reportedly keen on Leonardo as well. According to the Sunday Mirror, Newcastle had initially been informed that Leonardo would cost £25 million, but they are planning to submit a £16 million offer for the Brazil under-20 international. The report also highlighted previous reports of Arsenal's interest in Leonardo during the summer transfer window, and West Ham also reportedly considered him as a potential signing. With Leonardo having scored 21 goals in each of the past 2 seasons in all competitions, his potential signing could be a significant coup for Newcastle. Given the limited league starts for Alexander Isak and Callum Wilson this season, acquiring another forward during the transfer window would be a prudent move for the club. Then moving on, according to a report from Football Insider, Newcastle United is considering the possibility of activating the £15 million release clause of Stuttgart striker Serhou Guirassy. The Guinean international is said to meet several criteria sought by Newcastle's manager Eddie Howe, making him a viable option for the club. However, there are other forwards being assessed by Newcastle as well, as they prepare for the upcoming January transfer window. Guirassy has been in exceptional form for Stuttgart this season, impressively scoring 16 goals and providing 2 assists in just 10 appearances across all competitions. His impressive goal-scoring ability makes him an attractive target for Newcastle. At 27 years old, Guirassy could potentially make a move to the Premier League during the peak of his career. However, it is expected that Newcastle will face competition from other interested clubs for his signature in 2024. But still, given his current form and goal-scoring prowess, it is understandable that Newcastle would be interested in securing his services.
Breaking England news here. Kieran Trippier has left the squad due to a personal matter, so he won't travel to Northern Macedonia. So Kieran Trippier not part of this squad ahead of that game on Monday night.
Then moving on, Newcastle United is determined to avoid financial fair play, FFP problems similar to those experienced by Everton, Manchester City, and Chelsea, according to reports. FFP has returned to the headlines following Everton's significant 10-point deduction for breaching Premier League profitability and sustainability rules over a 3-year period ending in the 2021-22 season. The club's financial losses during that period amounted to £124.5 million, exceeding the permitted limit of £105 million for Premier League clubs. While Newcastle has managed to balance their books and avoid such penalties, Manchester City and Chelsea, who are among their top 4 rivals, are facing FFP scrutiny. Manchester City has been charged with over 100 alleged breaches of the rules by the Premier League, while Chelsea is also under investigation for potential breaches during Roman Abramovich's ownership. The situation highlights Newcastle's careful approach to navigating the financial rules since the takeover by the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund in 2021. Despite significant investments in various aspects of the club, including the first team, academy, training ground, stadium, and backroom staff, Newcastle is committed to ensuring compliance with FFP regulations, despite having newfound financial resources. The key figures involved in the day-to-day operations of the club are aligned in their approach to FFP. Newcastle's top management has been vocal about their commitment to adhering to the regulations, emphasizing their determination to avoid the potential pitfalls faced by other clubs. Newcastle CEO Darren Eales, speaking to Northeast journalists back in August, was unequivocal on his stance when it comes to FFP, saying, "We are restricted, as is every club under FFP. Different clubs are in different periods of the cycle. There are tighter margins of error, and we are on that scale. Since the takeover, there's been a lot of investment in the players, and you have to account for that under FFP. With that, we've got revenues growing, and the good news for Newcastle United is that we are on a growth trajectory which is positive. But that doesn't stop the fact that when you spend a certain amount on players all in one go, without the sort of revenues the top six have at the moment, that means you have to be more circumspect with your spend."
That's the sort of the fans' view. I mean, look, as you know, we've got financial fair play, and it's the same for every club. We've got to be flexible. We've got to be smart about our spending. I think since ownership took over, we've seen that in every transfer window, where we've been sort of efficient in our spend. We've been targeted. But if the right opportunity comes up, that doesn't mean we can't be flexible. So I think
Newcastle United sporting director Dan Ashworth also spoke in October 2022 of the need to trade players to ensure money was being reinvesting into the club while the squad was being improved, saying, "One of the things around FFP is you have to trade. We have to be able to generate some money to reinvest and go again. You can never quite control when an opportunity comes knocking for a player, and maybe it's an aspiration they have always wanted. I can't lie and say we'll never have to sell a player. That doesn't happen anywhere. Liverpool sold Sadio Mane. But as a rule of thumb, I would like to think we'll be able to hold on to our top talent."
And the second thing is every club is bound by financial fair play. Yeah. So each financial year you have budgets in which you can use. So there needs to be, we need to make sure that fits inside that budget, and we just can't go and spend because we fancy it. It's all part of the plan.
While Newcastle United co-owner Amanda Staveley has regularly brought up financial fair play when discussing how quickly the Magpies can reach the top, saying, "We had to be prudent because we would have hit our FFP buffer quite quickly otherwise, as we didn't have the revenues that some of the other bigger clubs have on the commercial side. The players, we had to just be very careful and analytical on everything we did. We still do that because we have an FFP budget. We keep to that, and that has guided a lot of our transfer policy. We couldn't afford to have a dud player." While even though Eddie Howe will constantly talk of focusing on the football, but even he knows the club must operate within the rules when it comes to transfers, hence why Alan St. Maximin's sale made sense, saying,
Basically, financial fair play is sort of a new dynamic in my job, which has really come to the fore probably after my first window here, where we knew it was going to impact us. Now, player trading is a key part of financial fair play. You can't really hit it and come under it if you don't trade. So we're sort of forced to trade a player this window. Maxi looks like the player that's generated the interest. Certainly we all love Alan connected with Newcastle United, but we'll wait and see what happens. It's a really tough call for everyone connected with Newcastle. Maxi as well, because I know how much he loves Newcastle. He knows how much we love him. But in the modern world with financial fair play, it's a really difficult balance for football clubs to navigate their way through it. And for Maxi, he's got to make his own personal decisions as well. We've built a really good relationship, so I desperately don't want to see him go, but understand, as I say, with financial fair play.
Then, Newcastle United has received multiple injury boosts ahead of their clash with Chelsea. The Daily Mail's Craig Hope has provided updates on the players' conditions. Sven Botman, who was facing a knee problem that potentially required surgery, may now avoid going under the knife if there is no further swelling. Sean Longstaff is making progress with his ankle issue, although he remains a doubt for the Chelsea game following the international break. On a positive note, Miguel Almiron, who was forced off during the Bournemouth match, is expected to be fit. Additionally, Alexander Isak should also be available for the upcoming game against Chelsea. The timing of these injury boosts is crucial as Newcastle faces tough fixtures against Chelsea and a Champions League trip to Paris Saint-Germain. While the squad is still dealing with injury setbacks, having key players like Almiron and Isak fit will help alleviate some of the strain. Then finally, if you want to know what Eddie Howe said regarding a potential recall in January of Yankuba Minteh from his loan, click the video on your screen.